So this morning I got this email from one of the viewers of my channel. It is referring to Flutter Canvas tutorial image carousel. This is a video I did some time ago. So he wants to load some images as assets. Code is given below. So he has a variable called UI image. It is a member variable, and in the init state it calls is load my images. So load my images is a function, and then he has a local variable, and then this root bundle load, and then bd, and so on and so forth, and another then, and then it sets this temp image. So first of all, this is a good email because it gets to the point quickly, and also it has the clear and relevant code attached. So this is good. This is easy for me to work with. If you send me something like a Flutter project, then that would be like a lot of work for me. So this is good. I can quickly comment on this. So let's copy this over to, if I can copy this over. Okay, so that's the code that should actually build. So there were some errors. That's the first thing to fix. And the other thing is that these functions are futures. So if you see this, if you look at the what is getting returned from load is a future. What that means is that futures would not be executed in line. So what would happen is that it will come to root load and call the load s, and this returns a future which will be called when the load returns, and there is another chain of futures that gets called. So what happens is that when you get into this function, it declares this temp variable and then calls this, and then sends all these other bits as callbacks to this load, and then return the temp image. Because temp image is not initialized, it will return null. So all this code you have here, this will not be executed in line. So that's why you get null from this image. So in order to fix this, what you need to do is that you need to set this image to a variable that you have declared as a member. So something like this. This is let's say my image, and then you have to set this to my image. This is because, as I described, these are futures. So if I could possibly simplify this, so let's say f1, so this is one function which is a future, yes, and then it calls f1, that's another function which returns when you have this. So this is another function here. So 2, then you call f2, then so this is you're sending in the callback. I think you can do do this, simplify. Okay, and this is again a simplification. So these functions. So f1 is a future, and then you call this into this with then. Alternatively, you can call this with async, and then it would be something like await. Then you have by data, so that is the BD that you receive from here, and then BD, you're sending in BD to this over here. So let's say await. So decode image list, and then f2 is image, so let's say it is img. Then you can remove this, and then that image is what I have to set it for my image. Right, so this is much simpler, but this is an async function. So what happens here is that you load this this picture, and after that, when that returns, these things, all these things, this line here and this bit, this line here will execute only when this finishes. It would not be executed in line. So that's what it means. So these are called continuation. So the compiler will create an object that would be passed into these functions. Okay, so I hope that it is clear. So if you want to do that, this is how I would do it. So if you want to call load image on the init state, then this has to be async, and then you can call it like this, some string. Yeah, so that's the answer for that. Alternatively, you can also return the image from here and then set it in here, but that's up to you. Okay, hope that is clear. Ask me questions if it is not.